All right, good. Let's see. Assuming that everything has gone live, it is Thursday, December the 5th, 2024. 2 days now past. 2 days now past the what was supposed to be the alien invasion. Um, didn't happen, and now we're here, and um, yeah. So first is first. First off, there's a lot of different, I guess, ways to say that. First off, we recorded an episode last night with Zach Boyd, who is the everything behind the social media presence, which is famously Garnet. That will be available on Monday, 6, 7, 8, ninth. Monday the ninth. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Monday the ninth. the the calendar behind me, I draw that out, and it has um, uh, November and December overlapping, like rolls into December. So I had to find December, which is of course at the bottom underneath November. Now that we're fully into December, I'll probably redo it so that it is so that it's got the uh, December into January. So I don't look at a calendar very often. I look to see what today's date is. Anyway, so yeah, so last night we recorded an episode with Mr. Zach Boyd of famously Garnet, and had a really good conversation with him. We've got uh, I guess, some short clips that we'll be posting here on that soon. Um, Trying to think what else. Before we started recording last night, we were on the TikTok live and taking some comments from people before we started recording. And one of the things somebody brought up, and I had not seen because I didn't watch any news. Like so here's my week's been. So yesterday, of course, there was huge breaking news about the CEO of United Healthcare um, being shot to death in a building on his way to a board meeting. And I'll talk about that in a second. But prior to that, the day before, I had ingested about as much news as I possibly could because it was all about South Korea and how the basically the nearly wannabe dictator, who is the current president of South Korea, instituted martial law and lasted 3 hours. Um, it was it was something I don't remember seeing in my lifetime, and I'm 45, 40, almost 46 years old, and I don't recall this being something that's happened before. Uh, but um, but I watched a lot of that coverage, and I think on Tuesday I found that I have a low tolerance for news days like that. So yesterday I kind of just didn't take in any news. I didn't see anything on any of the social media. So it just got completely past me. Didn't even occur to me. Um but then when we were recording last night, Lori King, famous of TikTok, she said asked if we'd heard anything about it, and Zach had. So I did start looking it up, and yeah, so Brian Thomas, New York City. Um, they said the suspected gunman is in the fatal shooting of the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thomas. Left behind a chilling cryptic message at the scene, according to investigators. The words "deny, depose, and defend" were allegedly inscribed on every round and shell casing found at the Hilton Hotel on 6th Avenue. This is in Manhattan. 50-year-old Minnesota resident was set to speak at an investor meeting when he was gunned down around 6:45 a.m. outside the New York Hilton Midtown. Police say that Thompson was specifically targeted in a brazen attack by a gunman who is still at large after fleeing the scene on an e-bike. They don't have trackers on those e-bikes. I guess maybe it was his own. Let's see. So, photo surveillance footage shows the hooded suspect standing in the front of the counter at a Starbucks at West 56th and 6th Avenue just minutes before the shooting and has since disappeared. Um, I, I will never advocate for violence. I will never advocate for murder or anything else like that. I will never be the person that says that this was appropriate, and it's not. Um, there was a time in my life where I had some seriously vengeful ideas about um, some of these corporatists and CEOs and things like that because um, I had, sorry, I had to take the trash and recycling out this morning. I had to take the trash and recycling out this morning, so I still have my shoes on. And years ago, I did have some pretty angry thoughts about um, oh, thank you for the corn. I did have some pretty angry thoughts about um, some of these capitalists and corporatists and people that were clearly taking advantage of a system in order to benefit themselves. And it it made me angry. Uh, Wells Fargo, in particular, took advantage of myself as well as tens of thousands of other people by opening up credit card accounts and closing them just so that their staff could make some sort of a quota. Um, we did we did benefit from the fact that I did, at least. I'm sure some others did as well, but I did benefit from a settlement against Wells Fargo where I did receive a payment, for the trouble. Um, but because Wells Fargo had, even though they paid a lot of us out on this, it still made me considerably angry that that they had done it in the first place, and they had done it in the idea that they were going to get away with it. Um, so I definitely had ill thoughts about their board of directors and things like that, and how I wish that there was some sort of a revolution that would handle people like this. But again, I will never advocate, not now. I'll never advocate for any violence like that. And what this individual has done has potentially opened up a door of violence. I mean, just there's a possibility whoever this individual is has for now gotten away with it. I'm assuming he will likely be caught, and whether that's alive or unalive, he will get caught and he'll be prosecuted unless he doesn't unless they don't um, unless he's not available for prosecution. But um, it's just a essentially that's my fear, is that one bad apple can ruin more bad apples, and there is the potential, even though, I mean, I don't know much about Brian Thompson or his dealings as being the CEO of United Healthcare, but um, this in particular was is to me is wrong. It shouldn't have happened. I don't know what drove this individual to that point, but you know, I imagine there's probably profiles being run on this whole scenario to figure out exactly who it was and where they're from and things like that. But um, I don't know, like I said, I think that this is this is one of those things that could potentially open up a slew of other copycats. It's something we see when we have school shootings, that sort of thing. We see we a school shooting occurs, and then you see a copycat within days or weeks. And honestly, I don't even know that we even need copycats, considering school shootings happen on a daily basis now. Um, so yeah, that's we didn't talk about it on the show last night. Um, we briefly mentioned it before we started recording. Um, so you know, I, uh, I don't in particular know what to say, except that it's a heinous act, and it shouldn't be happening. And I hope that whoever did commit this is caught and prosecuted and made an example of, as far as to keep others from doing the same thing. And I hope they're caught soon. Um, so anyway, that is gonna wrap it up for this morning's kind of daily show of the All About Nothing podcast. I am I have some editing to do on our recording from last night, and we'll get that published. It will be out on Monday, December the 9th, and we're lining up we're lining up a guest for next week that should be entertaining. We only got a few more episodes this year. Season 7 will wrap up. I At some point today, maybe I'll get the count on how many episodes we did for season 7, but I think it's more than 50 and probably less than 70. But we did a lot of recording this year. Um, and next year we'll probably do a lot of recording as well. So, all right, let's go do it. Thank you very much for joining us. You all stay safe, be kind, and keep your hands to yourself. There you go. That was the kind of daily show. You can go check those out on YouTube. They're available. You can go to theallaboutnothing.com, subscribe to us